Hello and welcome to Make One Order Games. This is video number 5 in my series about building a kart racer in the style of Mario Kart. In the last video, we added the finishing touches to our environment. In this video, we will turn our attention to the AI. We want to have a single player mode in this game, so we will need to have opponents that we can race against. In order for us to be able to do that, those opponents need to be able to race around the track. So in this video, we will train our AI to race around our track. We will do this using Unity's machine learning framework. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to have to do before being able to train our AI is we need to provide a way for the AI to be able to know where to go on our track. And we're going to do this by placing checkpoints around our track. So let's go ahead and actually first just clean up our scene here a little bit. Take our trees here, put them into a parent object, and also put our decals into a single parent object, just so that we have a bit of structure here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just create a 3D object, a simple cube. We'll call this checkpoint. And find this thing here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to rotate it to be perpendicular to the track, more or less, and we're going to scale it to be wide enough to cover most of the track. And we want it to be a little higher than this, so high enough so that the AI can actually see it. So we want to make sure that we don't have too much of a gap here, because otherwise the AI might look below the checkpoint and not see it. So we want to kind of push this down a little bit, but we also don't want to do anything like this, right? We don't want it to be like halfway underneath, because the AI is actually randomly spawned during training at one of these checkpoints. And I think it's spawned pretty much right here in the middle. And so if this part is somewhere down here, what can happen is your AI might spawn below the train and just fall through the train down. And yeah, basically just fall down. So we want to place it somewhere kind of like this here. I think it's okay if these parts here are a bit submerged. This should be good enough. Great. Okay, so now we're going to create a prefab from this. So let's drag this checkpoint here into this. And we're just going to go ahead and copy this thing. We're going to place a bunch of checkpoints around our track, roughly with this distance. So finding the exact number of checkpoints to place and the distance between them. There's no exact science here that I have found. So we're just going to go ahead and actually let's place it in the other direction, since we are going to go in this direction here. We're going to be driving in the way that we've been facing. So let's place the checkpoints going that way. So I think that's pretty okay. Start rotating this a little bit just to be a bit more aligned with the track. And we're basically just going to be placing these all around, roughly evenly spread out. Maybe here in these kind of tight turns, we're going to place them a bit more closely to each other so that they can't be missed so easily on these tight turns. Okay, so once everything is placed, we just want to make sure that nothing is too far below here, that everything is positioned in such a way so that there aren't any large gaps below these checkpoints, but so that they're also not really far submerged. Okay, so these all look pretty okay. Let's go ahead and check the checkpoint here, and we're going to put it on a different layer. We're going to put it on the training checkpoints layer here. And let's also create a new game object, an empty one. Put them all in there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our AI model. Yeah, so this kart racing microgame comes with a pre-configured kart with an AI model, or like a machine learning model that backs it. So let's go ahead and check the karting package here. Go to the prefabs. I'm not sure anymore actually. I think Kart Classic here, and let's first find our player here. I believe it's this one here. Yes, ML agent, drag him out here. So this is going to be our guy. Let's also go ahead and make sure that he renders properly. Okay, so let's jump back to our checkpoints one more time. We're actually going to make these checkpoints invisible so that, yeah, we don't actually want to see these, right? It's just there for the AI. So let's go ahead in here and go ahead and just disable the mesh render and select our ML agent one more time. And we're going to scroll down here on the inspector and we're going to look for this part here under the Kart agent. There is a section called checkpoints and colliders. Let's go ahead and check how many we have here. 21 or so. Under colliders, we can just hit 21. And now we can just assign them all. So one after the other, take checkpoint 1, drag it in here. In this order, I think the order matters so that it knows which ones to hit first and which ones to hit second and third and so on. Okay, we can go ahead and close these. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, the AI uses a set of sensors to essentially see the environment. To my understanding, it fires out ray casts, and using those ray casts, it sees what's in front of it. And that's also how it can detect these checkpoints. And the challenge with our track here is that it's fairly uneven and bumpy, and the sensors that the AI has are kind of low to the ground. So if we actually go here to this agent sensor transform, we can find it here and we can see it's basically placed by the hands, by the steering wheel. That's way too low. Like, I mean, these are essentially its eyes. So we're just going to go ahead and move this up to a little above its head here, just so that it can see far enough. It can see over these bumps. And the next thing we're going to go do is we're going to click our agent again. We're going to go down to the sensor area, and we're just going to make sure that it can actually see farther, that it fires these rays out farther, because by default, they're a bit short. So let me find that here. So under sensors, we can expand this here. Expand all these here. These values determine how far the ray casts will go. And we're just going to double the values here. So for everything. So instead of 30, we're going to do 60, 6, 30, 3.6 or so. Yeah, 20, 3, and so on. Okay, we're almost done with our setup here. The last thing we're going to do here in the configuration is we're going to set these reset parameters. I essentially want it to detect or treat the fence as out of bounds so that when it hits the fence, it, I guess, restarts. So let's go ahead and go to our fence. So we have our outer fence here. We're going to give it a new layer. We'll call it fence. We're going to apply to all children. We're going to do the same for the inner fence. And go back to our agent and go to the reset parameters. The out of bounds mask will now be the fence. That's the out of bounds mask. And the track mask, we're going to go here, take our terrain, give it the tag track, go back to our agent, and track mask track. That should be okay. So we have our agent pretty much ready to go. Let's just make sure that he's above the ground and not clipped into ground. We can also rotate him a little bit here so that he's facing the right way. And just to be sure, the checkpoints, if we go ahead and zoom out here a little bit, just to make sure that the order is correct so that it's going in this direction here. So the checkpoints are positioned correctly. We didn't accidentally have one behind the other. So our AI is pretty much ready to go. Now we just have to actually fire up the training. So we have to, one more thing I actually have to do before we can do that is we have to scroll down here to the agent script again and change the mode from inferencing to training. And now we're going to use Unity's Python machine learning utility to start training the agent. And the utility that we're going to use is ML Agents Learn. You can Google or ask your favorite chatbot how to install this ML Agents Learn command line utility, and you will find information about what you need to do. I'm not going to cover this here now because the instructions for this may change between now and whenever it is that you're reviewing this. It isn't rocket science. You can get this up and running pretty quickly. Once you have that up and running, the last thing we need to do before starting the script is we need to provide it with a configuration file that essentially tells the AI training system how to train the model. And I will provide a sample YAML file that I am using for this model here in the description, or a link to it rather. And after we have this, so we're going to go into the assets folder. We're going to let's create another folder called AI. We're going to paste the YAML file in there. And in our terminal, we're just going to navigate here. And we're going to do ML agents learn and make sure that we reference the right YAML file. And we can then give it a run ID. And what the run ID allows you to do is if you start training and say after 20 minutes you stop and you want to test your model and you find, yes, it's trained fairly well, but I would like to train it some more, you can, if you provide the same run ID again, when you resume the training, it will then add the additional training information to the existing already halfway trained neural network model that you started training when you ran this the first time. So these IDs allow you on the one hand to kind of resume training later on, and they also allow you to create different models. So you can create perhaps a model that you use for an easy opponent. You can create a model that you use for a medium or a hard opponent and so on, and then use these different IDs to reference them and to feed data into these models and then to use them later on. So for this example, we'll just use one simple, it doesn't matter what you put here, you can put whatever you want. I will just use one run ID. I'm not going to make an easy AI and a medium AI and a hard AI, just one. So this should do for now. So the command ML agents learn, the path to your YAML file and your run ID, and then you just let this run. And you should see this nice little ASCII art here. And this basically means it is now waiting. And what we can do now is we can run our game. And before we do so, let's actually just get rid of our player, because otherwise the AI will just bump into it and it will just kind of get in the way. So for this training, we're just going to get rid of our player here and we're going to hit play. And what happens now is this AI framework essentially speeds up the game speed so that the AI can train a lot faster. Yeah, like if it would train at normal speed, it would just take forever to train. So the AI should now start driving around, trying different things. So this is very early. We can see it just kind of going around and bumping into things, exploring the environment, and we can actually also kind of keep an eye on how the training is going by checking back in a terminal where we launched the training. And every minute or so, or every 90 seconds, I forget, or every 100 seconds, it will post a little message here that will tell you how well the training is going. So how much reward it's getting. Right now, the mean reward is 3.8. The higher this value is, the more it is actually doing what you are rewarding it or what you're trying to incentivize it to do. And the standard deviation, of course, kind of tells you how consistent it is or how consistently it's hitting those rewards, whether it's sometimes doing the exact things that you want and other times not at all doing the things you want, or whether it's consistently kind of doing the things that you want it to do. So you want this value here to be high and you want this one to be rather low. That's my understanding of it anyway. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to play the waiting game. We're just going to you can watch your AI just kind of move around here and train. And after about, in my experience, about 15-20 minutes, we should see an AI that is, I realized what's going on here. So we made one mistake here. So we're going to have to abort this and kill this here. One thing is that the checkpoints should be triggers. So let's take our checkpoint here. And in the collider, we're going to select is trigger, because otherwise the AI will bump into the checkpoint and will not be able to actually drive along the track. So with this said and done, we can start training again. And before we do so, because we actually in this case want to completely start over. So we're going to get rid of these results. This is kind of where it stores the training data. We're going to just delete all this and we're going to start it one more time. And let's start training again. And we can see if we click it here. Yeah, okay, it's actually driving along the track now. It's not just stuck in one place. Yeah, now it's actually able to drive through the checkpoints. So let's just observe here what's going on. And after about 10, 15, 20 minutes, we should have an AI that's able to go around the track fairly consistently. It'll occasionally do weird things, but it should be usable in a basic kart game. So let's check back in a few minutes and see where we are at. Our AI, a couple minutes in, about 5-6 minutes in, and it's already managing to complete laps quite consistently. Still the occasional stutter and weirdness going on, but pretty okay. If we check the values here, we also see a steady improvement from negative 0.5, now consistently above 10, now 40 even. Of course, the standard deviation also increasing a little bit, but if we at least look at what's going on here, it's looking pretty good. So I suggest we just let this run for a couple more minutes and then give it a go. Okay, let's have a look here. It's looking pretty good. It's making its way around the track pretty consistently. And if we look at the values here, they're pretty great. We're up to 258. Standard deviation is still pretty high, but pretty consistently in a pretty high range here. So I would suggest we stop training and test out this model. So we're just going to hit stop here and Control C here. Okay. It says, okay, a couple of scary looking error messages, but copied results to this. I think this is the important thing here. So it did copy the model results, train model results into this file here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our AI agent. We're going to change the mode back to from training to inferencing. And what we have to do now is we have to reference the trained model. So this is the model. It's currently using this default one that it shipped with. Like if we race against this one, it'll just kind of randomly drive around like it's just not trained. So let's just try that out, see what happens. I forgot to put my guy back in. Let me see here. So this is the untrained model because we didn't reference the new one yet. So surprisingly good, actually. Oh, there it goes. Maybe it's just a matter of luck. So yeah, again, this is the untrained model. So let's pull in the trained one. So we have that here under results. Kart 1, arcade driver, this file here. So this ONNX file. So let's select our kart racer again. Scroll all the way down to where it says model, and we're going to drag this arcade driver thing here. Save it, and let's give it a go one more time and see if we can race against this guy. Oh, that was not what I expected. Let's see here. All right, he's going now. Maybe what's confusing is just being near me. Let's just see how many laps we can go here without him doing something completely weird. Yeah, he's going now. And he's even picking a line that's actually pretty good. Doesn't look like we can catch up to him. Now we can race. Okay, so we have an AI opponent that can race around the track, albeit a bit inconsistently because we, again, didn't train it that long and we didn't spend that much time tweaking the parameters, but for the most part, it works. And again, yeah, it's a pretty rough version, but it's a pretty good foundation, I'd say. So just to recap, we first placed the checkpoints around the level and paid attention that they were neither too low nor too high. We optimized the sensors of our AI so that the AI could see farther and could also see above any uneven terrain, such as the little jumps we have in our track. We set up the layers correctly so that the AI knows not to hit a fence. We created the AI training configuration and used Unity's Python tools to start training our model. And a few minutes later, we had a pretty decent AI, at least on paper, with the numbers. And we also spent some time just kind of sanity checking whether our model actually made a difference. And yes, it definitely has issues, but for the most part, it actually kind of works. It does race around a track, and once it kind of gets in the groove, you can't really keep up with it. And that's definitely not the case if we use the untrained model. But yeah, so I would say this is a pretty good first start with the AI training. In next week's video, we'll be looking at how we can create some slightly better looking characters for our kart racer. So emphasis on the slightly here because I'm definitely not a 3D model or animation expert. If you want to learn how we can do that, be sure to subscribe and check back next week for the new video. See you then, and thanks for watching.